Hey everyone, welcome back. In this Playwright tutorial, I'm going to discuss other locators that are available within Playwright. So the second one that I'm going to discuss is getByText, which is very self-explanatory. And then I'll also try to cover a ByLabel, placeholder, AltText, etc. All of them are very simple. And if you're coming from Selenium background, you will easily be able to correlate. But even if you're absolutely new to automation, don't worry. I'll cover everything from very basic and you will be able to pick up everything up to advanced level. So getByText, as the name itself suggests, so if I go to this particular method, I can see or I can find a particular web element by the text that is available or visible on the screen, right? So I can say, I can match it based on the exact text, exact string, or using the regular expression, right? So in this particular method, getByText, I can specify, for example, this particular link, right? So if I go to this parabank, so getByText, right? So whatever text that you are seeing here, so I can say, okay, getByText about us and click, right? I can say getByText register and click. So in that particular case, let me simply copy it and copy this particular test and I'll paste it here in the test and I will say this is a copy. So let me close this one, rename this, and this is getByText. All right, so getByText, and on getByText we are trying to locate based on the text, right? So we simply say getByText and whatever text we want to click on. Okay, so I'll say, okay, getByText, and then simply on this particular page, for example, login.salesforce.com, if I want to getByText, let me go to here. What can I get by text? So for example, I want to click on forgot by password or forgot your password, right? So I can simply right click inspect and you'll see this is the text, right? So forgot your password. If I want to click on this, I'll simply go ahead, open login.salesforce.com, and then I'll say, okay, simply say get page.getByText, right? And you see I have the method getByText, and what this will accept, if you just hover over, it will accept a string, which particular text you want to click on. Okay, and if you scroll down here in the Visual Studio Code as well, you will see that it will basically show you all the different examples based on how you are going to basically use it. Okay, so for example, matches both. For example, this hello will matches both or matches second div, right? So you can basically check the documentation as well, because Playwright has some really good documentation. So for example, now in this particular case, I want to click on forgot your password. Okay, so I'll say, okay, find or getByText forgot your password on the page. Okay, and then what you do, you simply go ahead and click. Okay, so I'll say dot click and then semicolon, and that's it, right? So now if I go ahead and execute this particular test, right, say for example, there are two dots there, and that is why it is not being recognized as a test. So I'll simply remove one of the dot. Okay, now it is fine, and now I should be able to execute it. getByText, yeah, so I should be able to execute. So you'll see that I have the icon now. So if I go ahead and click on it, it should be able to open Salesforce login page and find by text and click on it. Okay, you will see that it has found that particular link by text and forgot your password page has been opened successfully. Okay, so this is how you are going to use getByText. Now, what is the next method? Next method that we are going to cover is getByLabel. Okay, when we say label, what exactly it is? So for example, you see this password field, right? So this is the label. All right, so on this Salesforce page as well, you will see this is the label password, right? Whatever label is used against that particular field. All right, now this particular checkbox, right? The label, if you just say right click and inspect, you will see that the field is a label, right? Label, and then the value is remember me. So I can use by label, and then using that I can identify a particular element and do actions on it. Okay, so if I have to click on this checkbox, I can simply use this label remember me, and I can say, okay, click on the web element which has the label remember me. Okay, so then in that particular case, that particular web element or the particular action should be performed. Okay, here in this particular case, if I go ahead and inspect this particular text box, right, this is separate. This is not a label, but this is remember me has a label, right? This text box has a label and we can click on it. Okay, so now if I go ahead and use it, so let me close this and say, for example, I want to use getByLabel. Okay, so let me create another file and I'll say copy and paste. I'll change it to getByLabel, and in this one I want to click on a text box by label. Okay, so I'll simply say, I'll use the method that is available out of the box in Playwright. I'll say getByLabel. You'll see that label is available. All right, and if you hover over label, you will see that you will be able to use different label, right? So for example, ARIA label, okay, or label anything which has the label either attribute. If it is an input, it should have this ARIA label, okay, attribute. Then I can use even on the input field. If it is a label tag, then I can simply say whatever value is specified here. For example, this password is mentioned there, right? So it is a label with a password. So in this particular case, you will see that it will be able to find the inputs by the label username and the password. Okay, whatever labels are available here. In this particular case, ARIA label, and this is the password. Okay, so I can simply go ahead and for our case, because this is the label that I want to identify, and then click on this checkbox. So I'll say, okay, the label is remember me, and find by the label, and I'll say remember me. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to click. So I'll say dot click, and then the click method will click on that particular checkbox, right? So if I go ahead and execute this, it should open the page. Okay, it was already open. That you can see that it hasn't closed. So let me close it and rerun it. Okay, so let me rerun it, so you can see the page getting opened and executed. Okay, so opening the page, and then you should see that remember me has been clicked, right? So this is how you can use find by label, or basically get by label, right? And then it will identify the web element and do the actions that you want to perform. Okay, so that's the third part. Now moving on this particular documentation, what is the next method that we are going to explore is basically getting by placeholder. Okay, so what exactly is placeholder? So if you go to a placeholder method here, you will see that there are some fields which have this placeholder field. For example, what is you want to type in here? For example, if it is an email field, there will be some sample email provided there, right? Or the format that you have to specify in order to put your address or email, right? So this is the placeholder. Okay, and then there will be a placeholder attribute with the value of that placeholder. So if there is a placeholder attribute present for a particular web element, for example, in this particular case, let me find out, or let me see if I can find any of the placeholder. Let me say Control F, placeholder. Yeah, so you'll see that I have this placeholder attribute, and then the value is, I believe this is search, right? So the value is search. So there is some text, or there is some web element here which has this particular placeholder, but I think this is not available. This particular, it should be in the search field somewhere. But then this is how the placeholder attribute will look like, and the value. So if this placeholder attribute is available, you can use the method placeholder. So for example, in this particular case, I can go and just say find by or get by placeholder and specify the value of the placeholder. Okay, so I can say, okay, page dot get by placeholder, specify the details or the value, and then whatever action, I can say dot fill or dot click, right? Dot fill if I want to type in something there. Okay, for this particular case, if you see, I do not have any placeholder in this username, but then there are some websites wherein you have this username, and there will be a placeholder within username and the password field. Okay, there will be some text that will be available. So that is available based on this attribute, and you can use that attribute to identify the web element and do or perform the actions. Okay, now the next one is get by AltText, which is basically usually for the image or alternative text. Okay, so there are some images, or there are many images on the web that say, for example, this particular Salesforce. Okay, Salesforce image, if I go here, and there should be alt text defined. Okay, so there should be an alt text to describe about the image, right? So if I want to click on this particular image, right, if I want to click on this, then I'll simply use this alt text, which is alt, and then whatever the value is, and can click on this. Okay, so this is how we are going to use it. So if I go here on the documentation, you will see that this alt is for the images, and I can specify whatever logo or whatever image is available, right? So for example, let's quickly take the Playwright website. Okay, so I'll say playwright.dev, and let's analyze this particular image here. Okay, so I'll say right click inspect. So you'll see this alt is Playwright logo. Okay, so I can click on this logo, right, using this alternate text that is available for this particular image. Okay, so if I have to use this, I'll simply go ahead, let me copy, rename it, AltText. Okay, and then here I'll simply take playwright.dev, copy it, and instead of opening Salesforce, I'll open playwright.dev, and then I will click on that image, right? So I can say get by AltText. Okay, so what was the alt text that is available here? The alt text is Playwright logo, right? This is alt attribute for this image, right? And then this is Playwright logo. Okay, so the value is Playwright logo, so I can simply copy that Playwright logo and I'll click with this particular text, right? And then whatever action I want to perform. Okay, so I can say, dot click or dot blur or dot check, right? So different methods are available here. So I want to click, right? So I'll simply say, okay, dot click and close the bracket, and let's run this. Okay, so it is launching the browser. You'll see Playwright has been opened and you'll see that it has clicked on that, right? So basically there was a bit of color change, so that has been clicked. Now if I say, for example, I open some other, let's say I open this docs, okay, and then I will click on this particular image. All right, so on this page as well you can see that there is an image. So let me click and you'll see that the alt text for this image is same. All right, so I'll open a different page. If I simply hover over, you'll see that the alt text is Playwright logo. Okay, so let me open not the home page, just open this docs page. So you can see when it clicks on this logo, it goes to the home page, right? So I'll simply close it. We close this one, rerun the test. Okay, so you can see that it actually clicked on this particular image using the alt text and went to the home page. You'll see that docs has been opened and it has went back, right, to the home page. How? By clicking on the alt text of this particular image in the left hand side, right, the Playwright image. So this is how you are going to use the method getByAltText. Okay, so we have covered up to getByAltText. Let me see what else is remaining. Now we have the method getByTitle, right? So to locate an element by its title attribute. Okay, so there is a title attribute for a web element. So if the title attribute is present, we can use getByTitle. So if you go ahead and see the documentation, you will see that any particular web element, if there is a title attribute present, you can use the title attribute, this particular method getByTitle, and provide the value of that particular attribute. For example, page.getByTitle issue count, and then to have or click or perform any action or do any of the assertions, right? So this is how we are going to use getByTitle. Okay, to locate elements by title. Okay, now if I go back here, let me see if I can show this example as well. I don't think that we have any web element here which has the title. So there is a title get, okay, there is a title tag there. Yeah, you see there is a iframe which has the title. Basically the title is marketing, right? See something else. So make sure when you are using, for example, this one, this is powered by OneTrust. Let me see where exactly it is. It is not here on this particular page, but this getByTitle, you have to make sure that it will get the elements matching the title attribute, right? Now there is a title tag and the title attribute. So when you are using this, you are using it with the title attribute, okay, not the tag, right? With the title tag, you can use a lot of other strategies as well. Okay, if there is a title attribute present, then we can basically use it. I'm not able to find it here as well. So let me see if I can find somewhere. There is a title. So you'll see that this is a title tag. It is not an attribute, right? So attribute is something like href or a type or rel. So if there is a title attribute within particular element, then you can use that particular method, right? getByTitle. Okay, so yeah, you see there is a title, okay, for this particular image. Okay, so I can use getByTitle. Let me show you with this one. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll open a particular forgot login info. Okay, for example, I'm here and I click on parabank. It should move to the index. All right, with what? With the by title of this particular image. Okay, so if I go and inspect, you will see this is image, okay, which has the alt text as well. And then it has the title with the title parabank as well. So I can say getByTitle, which will get me the title by title of this particular logo. So it will get the location of this particular web element, and then I can say okay, click. All right, so let me showcase that as well. So I'll copy the existing test, let me paste it, and I'll rename this to getByTitle. getByTitle, and we can see that the title is available here. So I'll directly go to the lookup page first. All right, so I'll say open the lookup page. okay, and then click on this parabank, so it goes to the home page, right? So let me open the lookup page, so you can basically see that it actually clicked by title. Okay, so instead of by alt text, I'll simply say okay, page dot get by title, right? So you'll see that there is a by title, and if you just hover over, you'll see all the documentation how you can use it. Okay, so you'll see that this is the DOM structure, you have this title, and you can go ahead and use it, right? So if there is a title attribute, I can go ahead by title and use the or put the name of the value of the title. Okay, issues count. Okay, so here get by title, and what is the title? So for this parabank, the title is parabank, right? So I'll say get by title and then put the title there, and then dot click. I want to click on it. Okay, so I can go ahead and move to the home page. So initially it will open the lookup page, okay, the customer lookup, and then it should move to the home page by clicking on this parabank logo using the title that is available for this particular web element as a title attribute, right? So this is the attribute, this is the value. Okay, so I've used the title and the value of it. So let me click run and see the execution. So you'll see it has opened up the lookup page, right? And immediately you'll see that it has clicked on the parabank by title, and you'll see the index.html, right? Index, it has moved to the index.html and it has redirected to the home page. Okay, so this is basically how we are going to use get by title. Now let's move back to the documentation and see what other locators are available. Okay, so we have seen get by title, and then there is another one which is get by test ID to locate an element based on its data test ID attributes. Okay, so if I go to this one, testing by test ID is the most resilient way of testing, as even if your text or role or anything changes, right? So usually any other attributes can change, but if there are test IDs defined by the developers and QAs, okay, usually the developers are developing the UI. If they provide test ID to a particular web element, we can use that test ID and that will be more resilient, right? But I mean, I haven't seen this very common practice that test IDs are being defined. So for example, here you'll see data-test ID. If this type of ID is available, you can simply use this method get by test ID, and whatever value of that particular test ID is defined and interact with that particular element. Okay, now if you go ahead and see all of these methods, right? So they are usage wise, they are all absolutely similar. Okay, there is not much difference. It's just about how you are going to use them, the internal things. For example, if I say get by title, so how you are going to look for the title, that is important. If you know within the HTML what is the title, what is the attribute title, and how you are going to use that method, that is important. Okay, now these are some of the built-in locators available within the Playwright. Now apart from this, we can use CSS selectors as well as XPath within Playwright as well. Okay, and I'll cover how you can use the CSS selectors and XPath within the Playwright as well in the next video. So that's all for this video. I hope it was helpful. Thank you very much for watching.